Good morning, guys. How are you? Usually in English language, most of the time it's about discussion. Most of the time it's about conversation. Some of the questions we might ask in classroom might be related to characters like Rosa Parks. Do you still remember what happened in her life and what changed her life? What made her so famous? It might be about movies, major events or characters, the psychological impulses that changed their life. It might be about the last book that you've read. It might be about the memorable football game that you've watched. I might ask you about the best thing that you've done in quarantine. In order to answer the following questions, what you have to do is summarize. This is a skill required for the official exams, but we also need it in our life. So when I ask you to summarize, it's not only related to exam. What you have to do is simply restate the main events, the main things, the main ideas of the text, of the book, of the football game, of the series. So it's restating what you've read or what you've heard. In the exam, what you have to do is simply restate the main idea of a paragraph or an article. You have to use your own language, you have to leave out any unnecessary details, but mainly you should keep the same meaning. We're not allowed to change the meaning of the original paragraph or article. We have to follow certain steps while summarizing. Step number 1. First, read, and read. If once you understand the text in front of you, mission is done. If I identify the main idea that I have, I can keep the important information necessary for this main idea and leave out any unnecessary information. So I get the main idea and write it or rewrite it using my own words. I'm done. I check for accuracy. Did I mention everything? Did I change the meaning? I shouldn't change the meaning. I have to keep the same meaning. Did I use my own words? Did I use proper language, grammar, punctuation? After checking, I have to start with a citation. I write the citation. Usually it's not a sentence. So here, I skip the sentence. I start in paragraph. I mention the number of the paragraph of the text entitled. I mention the title, the author. I mention the name of the author if I have it, states, and then I write my summarized version. Most of the time it's one sentence, especially if I have a paragraph. When they ask us such a question, usually we have two structure for this question. The first structure, write a one-sentence summary of the paragraph below. So I have a paragraph. Usually they get it from a text, so you should understand the whole context, and they ask you to summarize it. I don't need any unnecessary details. I'm not allowed to use the same language, and I have to start with the citation. So here, I'm gonna give you the answer. For sure, by yourself, you're gonna read the paragraph. In the above paragraph, the author states that I can change, while writing my own summary, I can change the sentence structure, change the choice of the word, I can change the part of speech in order to use my own language, in order to not keep the same version as the original paragraph, but keep the same meaning. This is another sample of a question. The following is a poor version of a one-sentence summary of the paragraph below. So this is the paragraph you're supposed to summarize, and this is the poor version. Usually when they tell us that it's a poor version, there's a problem with it, but it doesn't mean that it's all wrong. So it's either missing something or they add something which is not important, and that's it. My advice, write the source. So whether it is required for the official exams or not, write the source to be on the safe side. So this is the whole paragraph. Spending too much, and this is the poor version that we have to correct. Spending too much time sitting has its negative impacts on health, with an increased chance of diseases such as cardiovascular disease and diabetes. If we read the paragraph from here, from the beginning up till this point, it's talking about the negative impacts. But if we start from this point, the study comes along with the solution that the health impacts of an, okay, if we read the following part, we notice that they are talking about solution. And in this version, in this poor version, they didn't mention the solution at all. So we notice that there is a problem, there is a missing point, and it's related to the main idea, and I can't skip it. So as I told you before, the poor version is not all wrong, so I can simply not mention the types of disease. There is no need for any example. I don't need details. I just need the main point. So I cross the following points, such as cardiovascular disease and diabetes, and add the one talking about the solutions. Improved version, as I told you before, add the source. So in paragraph, in the text entitled, and I mentioned the title, the writer states that sitting for a long time has its dangerous impacts on health, but fortunately this can be avoided. Why? So as we notice, we talked about the dangerous impacts and about the solution. To sum up, while summarizing, I have only to include the main points. I shouldn't include my opinion. I'm not allowed to mention anything, to change, to comment, to do anything related to me. I'm just summarizing. I should include the most important information, no details, using my own language, not copying, and I have to start with the source. Citation is so important. Thank you.